Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Bethany and today we are going to talk about 12 books that I want to read in 2024. So I'm going to pick the 12 favorites from last year, from 2023, and then with each book I'm going to pick a book, most of them from my shelves, although I have two that I do not own. But I'm going to pick a book that somehow like reminds me of that favorite book. One that I think I'll like because I liked this one book from last year. I hope that makes sense. We're gonna get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start this time with my favorite book from 2023, possibly of all time. The Silent Woods by Kimi Cunningham Grant. So the book that I chose to go along with this one is one of them that I do not have yet, but that one is called Above the Fire by Michael O'Daniel, I believe. I'll put a picture up here of it. The reason why I chose it is because, first of all, the covers seem similar. There's like woods and a cabin on it. And it's also a story about a father and child. I think that one is a father and son who are spending time in this cabin in the woods. And then I think that there's some sort of like political disaster or something that kind of causes them to have to maybe stay longer. That's very much a guess on what I remember when I was reading about it, but it reminded me of this one, and so I chose that for one book that I would like to read this year. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to use this book, A History of Wild Places by Shea Ernshaw. I really enjoyed this book last year, and it is kind of a woodsy mystery thriller, and I really enjoyed that about it. So for this one, I'm going to choose Kimi Cunningham Grant's new book that's coming out, I think in June or July of this year. And I believe, I hope I'm getting this right, I think it is called The Nature of Disappearing. I'm going to put a picture of it up here. I'm so excited about it since her book, The Silent Woods, was my favorite from last year. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it also seems to be kind of a woodsy mystery thriller about a missing person, which this one was about a missing person and someone going to look for her. So I'm really excited about that one. Okay, next is the one from last year that I read is When the Day Comes by Gabrielle Meyer. This one was super easy because I have the sequel on my shelves. So this year I want to read In This Moment, which is the sequel from Gabrielle Meyer. So I'm really looking forward to that. This is a Christian historical time travel fiction that I just cannot wait to read. Next on my list from last year is Katherine Center's Hello Stranger. This is a contemporary romance, just so good, great plot. And for this one, I picked up Tacos for Two from my shelves by Betsy St. Amant. This is a Christian contemporary romance, and I just want to try it out. It has a really cute cover, so that's why I chose it for this one. So I'm going to put this on my list to read in 2024. Okay, this is another easy one. So Love and a Little White Lie by Tammy Gray was on my favorites from last year, and I do have the sequel on my shelves. So I'm going to put Love and the Silver Lining on my list for 2024. So that was another easy one. One of my favorites from last year was Finley Donovan is Killing It. I struggled really hard with cozy mysteries this year, just really couldn't get into them. I read a couple and just, I don't know, they just weren't that great for me. So I feel like Finley Donovan isn't really in that category, but it's kind of like, it's funny and not super serious, but it is a mystery and like murdery. So So for that one, I do have A Deadly Inside Scoop by Collette on my shelves. I do think that this is technically a cozy mystery, not really sure, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So I loved this contemporary Christian fiction book, Bless Your Heart, Ray Sutton by Susanna B. Lewis last year, and I do have another book on my shelves by Susanna B. Lewis that came out last year, so I'm going to pick that one, and that is Della and Darby by Susanna B. Lewis. And this is following sisters. I don't really know anything else about it other than that, although I really liked her writing, so I'd like to read another one of her books. Okay, for the next one, the book I read last year is The Edge of Belonging by Amanda Cox. For that one, I'd like to read Appalachian Song by Michelle Shocklee. This one is, I think, about an orphan, like a child who was abandoned or orphaned as a baby, and that's what this story was. So this is a Christian fiction as well, and kind of seemed like a similar, kind of reminded me of that book, so I'd like to read it. Shaped by the Waves by Christina Suzanne Nelson was on my list of favorites from last year, and this is a Christian mystery, kind of contemporary, I think. Anyway, so I have a book on my shelves that I'd like to pick for that one. It was Indigo Isle by T.I. Lowe. She's also a Christian author. I don't remember much about this book at all, but I want to read from more Christian authors, and it seemed like it was just like a Christian contemporary, which reminded me of this one, so that's why I chose it. So this is going on my TBR for 2024. This is one on my list from 2023 that I really enjoyed, Rivers Sing Me Home by Eleanor Shearer. It is historical fiction, beautiful writing, and for that one I chose Only the Beautiful by Suzanne Meissner. I love Suzanne Meissner. This is a historical fiction set around World War II, I believe. It reminded me of this one because beautiful covers, first of all, and then also I believe that this one is also kind of about either a mother searching for her child or like fighting to keep her child, I believe, which is definitely a theme in Rivers Sing Me Home as well. So that's why I chose this one, and I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, now we're going to go over my favorite middle grades from last year, and the first one is A Night Divided by Jennifer A. Nielsen, and this is a historical fiction middle grade, wonderful book. And so for that one, I chose from my shelves The Lost Year by Katherine Marsh. So they're both set in another country, historical fiction, middle grade, so that's why I chose this one. I've heard great things about this, so I'm excited to put it on my TBR. From my list last year is Rain, Rain. This was such a good book by Anne M. Martin, and for that one I picked This Seat Saved by Heather Holleman. This is a Christian fiction for middle grade, and I'm really looking forward to it and hoping that I love it as much as I loved Rain, Rain. So I'm putting this on my TBR for 2024. So that is my 12 books that I picked based on my 12 favorites from last year, and I hope that I get to these. I'm really excited to read them, and I wanted to pick books that I thought I would enjoy because I enjoyed those from last year so much. So I hope that this video made sense and that you saw some books that you might be interested in. If you've read any of these, whether they're my favorites from last year or the books that I put on my TBR for this year, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what your favorites were from last year or what you plan on reading or that you're really looking forward to reading in 2024. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.